Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's live stream. I am finally feeling well enough to go live. Man, I don't know if you guys have had this respiratory thing going on, but it's like day 14 for me, and I'm finally feeling good enough to drink some whiskey. And it just so happens this is like coincides with my wife's my wife and I really haven't even talked about this, but it's been 2 years since her cancer diagnosis. And then she went through, a year of awful recovery. And then we started Barrels for Hope, and this is rounding out our first year of Barrels for Hope. So something a lot of people, may have not thought was possible for us to do, get our 501c3, become a charitable organization. We've raised $40,000 for charity this year. We've got a year-end event. We got 6 amazing barrel picks to all of our members. So I definitely want to, I'm going to give you guys all shout outs. So yeah, let me know if everything sounds okay, what you're drinking. We're going to be through our Barrels for Hope barrel picks tonight. We're going to do it a little different. Now, there's no bad pick in this, but the bottom 3 picks that we did, 3 or 4, I'm going to taste individually, and we're going to have some Barrels for Hope members come on, taste with us, give us their notes as well. And then my favorite 4, which would be the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Short Barrel, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Founders pick, the 4-Gate pick, and the Nashville Barrel Company pick we just did. I'm going to taste those blind and see what is my favorite pick of our first year in Barrels for Hope. Before I do that, I want to give some shout outs. Obviously, my wife won't watch this, or she probably isn't, but obviously huge shout out to Renee for getting through cancer. She's cancer free, and helping me turn such a negative thing into such a positive thing. It's always great when you have something really negative happen in your life and you turn it into a positive thing and help people. And everything I've ever done in my life, she has been supportive and been a fan of. And any crazy idea I get, she just says, go for it. And she stands behind me 110%. So cheers to her. Thanks to her. Obviously, thanks to Narav and A1 in Effingham. A year after she had cancer and she had recovered, I had this idea of doing barrel. Well, I didn't have the idea. I don't want to take even half the credit for this, because I sent Narav a message and I said, hey, I have an idea. It involves doing barrel picks. And he messaged me back and said, what do you need? Whatever you need, I'm in for it. I will help you guys. And so I messaged Josh with Stuff and Whiskey. If you aren't subscribed to their channel, you should. But I messaged Josh and said, hey, do you have a minute for a call? This was right before Christmas. And so we got on a call together, started roundtabling ideas, started spitballing this crazy idea of helping people through barrel picks, because there's a lot of channels on WhiskeyTube that do barrel picks, but a lot of them, the money's going to Shared Pour or whoever's shipping the bottles for them. There's not really, as far as I know, any kickback. I don't know. I don't do a barrel pick club. I don't do sponsored ads on the channel. I just have Patreon. So for all you Patreon members that support the channel for as little as $2 a month, thank you guys. But We don't do that here, and we just do this charity organization barrel pick club. And so I didn't know how to start a 501c3. I knew we wanted to, Josh and I knew we wanted to, but we didn't really have the business chops to do it. But Josh knew Joe Carter, and Joe Carter had started a 501c3 before. So Josh reached out to Joe. Joe was like, I don't know if this thing's going to really work, but let's have some meetings and figure it out. So we got Joe on the calls, started talking about it, and started figuring out, once we ran the numbers, and Narav helped us do that, hey, we think we can actually do a barrel pick club, and 100% of the proceeds go back to charity organizations we want to support. Obviously cancer research, obviously children. Joe Carter's in the military, so we wanted to give back to veterans or a military charity, and then also mental health awareness. So we decided those were going to be our pillars for donating any money that we received. And our goal for our first year was $40,000. And it looks like we're going to be able to do that, which is very exciting. And, we just hit all our goals. We got our 501c3, which took a long time, took a lot longer than we anticipated. We got 6 picks. Our articles of incorporation said we would get 6 picks to our members. We were able to deliver on that by the deadline we needed to, which was in March. We're going to have a year-end event in July and donate a lot of money to charities. And this has become an organization that is very sticky. Like, people don't leave. We have, 140 spots, and those spots are full, and we have 25 people waiting to get into those spots. So to all of you Barrels for Hope members, thank you guys so much for making it possible. Thank you to Narav. Thank you to A1. Thank you to the Patel family. Thanks to all the A1 staff who helps us, get all these things ready to get out to our members. We couldn't do it without you guys. Obviously, enormous thanks to Josh with Stuff and Whiskey, Joe Carter, Dusty Dan, who's also one of our founding members, who has an amazing palate, who helps us pick these barrels. Thanks to Kim Schwartz, our events planner, who is putting together an amazing year-end event where Fred Minnick's going to be there. Jason C. with the Mash and Drum is going to MC the event. We're doing a barrel pick with 100 people at Starlight. We've got the Spire at the Marriott in Louisville reserved for Friday, Saturday. We just got an amazing time. We're going to Bourbon Pursuit. We've got the Cocktail Contessa at one of our events. It's just, Kim's killing it with the events. It's very, very exciting. So thanks to her. Thanks to Bill for being our logistics manager and helping us with all the things we're too dumb to realize we need to do. And then obviously thanks to Reggie, who is our, he's a CPA, he's our treasurer, and he makes sure that we have the money to pay for the barrels and enough money to give to charity at the end of the year. So it's a huge collective that we could not do without each and every one of you guys. And obviously, lastly, thanks to our members, because without the 140 of you, none of this would be possible. So just a very exciting night that we're actually, it's close to our year anniversary and 2-year anniversary of Renee having cancer and beating cancer. So with that, let me get a couple guests in here, and we're going to start by tasting through our maker's pick. So let me add Ed and Jeff. What's up, guys? How are you?
Doing great.
Did I ramble too much there?
No, you did a good job of talking about Barrels of Hope and kind of the impetus behind it and how great this first year has been.
Yeah. So Jeff, as a member, how has it been? I'm interested to know. Like, have we done okay?
I'd say okay is the lowest bar, and you guys have blown it out of the water. I mean, joining this, I was expecting to be able to get some fun bottles here and there. I think all 6 of the picks, I've gotten 7 out of the 8 bottles we've sent out, everything but the 4-gate. Really, really enjoyed them. I was lucky enough to be able to go on the Nashville Barrel Company pick a few weeks ago, which was a great experience in and of itself. But I'll say I'm very happy with what these first 12 months have been. I can't wait to see where the years go from here.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for being a member from the beginning. Thanks for helping us get it kicked off. I'm with you. I didn't get the 4-gate pick, but since the 4-gate only yielded like 30 bottles, I didn't even put my name in because I wanted as many of our members to get that as possible. But Ben sent me a sample, so this is going to be, I've already tasted it and it's pretty amazing. I wish I would have got a bottle, but I will say at double the cost, the NBC pick is just as good, which is amazing. So have you got your Nashville Barrel Company pick, Jeff?
Yes, I picked my first bottle up there, and then I was lucky enough to win a second bottle during the raffle.
Oh, sweet. Have you tasted it yet?
Oh yeah, I've opened it up and I've loved it. I mean, it's been hard to try and kind of wean it to make it last a little bit longer, but I've had some friends over this weekend, and I gave them a pour earlier today, and all of them were blown away by it.
Heck yeah, man. So Ed, what's up, buddy?
How we doing? Doing all right.
Not only have you been with Barrels for Hope from the beginning, you've been with Whiskey Tornado from the beginning, like my first Patreon member. So yeah, I'm always honored to have you on, and you've became such a good friend. I just love you, buddy. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Anytime I can, I love it. I love coming on. It's been awesome. Well, first Patreon member. Literally did a bourbon meetup with Lance when he had like 234 followers on YouTube, and drove over to Champaign and right after COVID. And when you announced the Barrels for Hope, I'm like, all in, no question. I'm in. Great cause. I mean, I got to end up being fabulous friends with you and Renee, and watch her, power through what she went through. So when you guys brought this up, I was like, I'm on board 100%. So it's been fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can't believe either, from where the channel started, for me sitting on a couch with a phone to starting Barrels for Hope. It's pretty cool to see the whole thing.
Oh,
get to where it is.
It's amazing. And then the other thing too is the friendships that you make through this entire community, whether it's through going on a barrel pick with somebody, or doing live streams, or doing bottle share meetups, or whatever events. I mean, this whole whiskey community is freaking unbelievable. Just unbelievable. I never in a million years thought that some of my best friends are people I met through YouTube and drinking bourbon. I mean,
I know. Yeah. It is wild. In fact, I've been at this new job for like 6 weeks now, and last week my boss was asking me what I was doing over the weekend, and we were getting ready to go pack bottles for the Nashville Barrel Company. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I reluctantly tell you this, and I'm glad you didn't know it in the interview process, but I have a 501c3 that's surrounded around bourbon, but I swear I'm not an alcoholic. Just go look it up before you judge me. And she was like, she was awesome. She was like, oh my God, my husband would love this. And so she was all excited about it. But
that's great.
But that's awesome. I'm always a little reluctant to tell people, and because it's just like the best conduit to great relationships. When you find some guys that are into bourbon, or females, ladies that are into bourbon, it's so much fun to just have something in common that just kicks a relationship off. And then I've just met so many great people through the whiskey community. It's something I did not expect. I should have, because I had kind of done a fitness community before, but when I got into bourbon, I just thought it was a bunch of old guys drinking Jack Daniels at a biker bar, It's been great. Shout out to Power of Bourbon. We got our Power of Bourbon hats on. If you're not subscribed to them, great guys that do great reviews. So we're huge fans of their channel. So if you need more bourbon content, they probably put out more than I do right now. So
TJ has been killing it with his new shorts. He does like little 1 minute, and they're hilarious. They're great.
Yeah, he gets asked questions all the time.
All the time. Yeah. So many people come up to TJ.
Corey, cheers, man. All right. I'm glad. All right. Brian's in the house. What's up, buddy? Bourbon Jerk's here. Earl's here. Brian, drinking the NBC pick, so good, man. That NBC pick is ridiculous. Ed, I can't wait for you to taste it, man. You're gonna flip out.
On the 15th, man. I'll come pick it up.
All right. Oh, Terry's saying didn't have respiratory issues. Come to find out, I believe I had COVID because oh man. Yeah, I don't have COVID, but man, for a while I thought, man, do I have pneumonia? I mean, it just hung around for today's day 14, but I'm feeling a lot. Yeah, it is. The first 3 days were horrible, and then I've just felt every day for like 10 days like I'm getting better, and I just not. But I'm today I haven't taken any medicine, so I think I'm over it pretty much. Let's see. Cheech is in the house. What's up, Cheech? Brad Key is in the house.
Brad.
All right, man.
Brad's on the road.
Yeah, Brad's on the road. I wanted Brad to be here tonight. Yeah, Earl was asking what kind of hats are we wearing? Yeah, Power of Bourbon.
Power of Bourbon.
I forgot. He asked me for my address. I didn't know what he was sending me. And then I got that today.
Yeah, I saw you had it on the Barrels for Hope live stream. So I messaged TJ and I'm like, dude, how do I get some of this swag? And he goes, open your quarterly box. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I got samples. We do a quarterly for the Patreon members for there too. And he put it in with the samples. So
he doesn't, is that a certain tier? I don't get any quarterly stuff. What the shit?
I'm the top dog. So
man, yeah, you are. That's true. That's fair. Oh, oh yeah, I posted this on regular Facebook. I forgot. Yeah, what's up? What's up, sis? Bourbonist is in the house. Cheers, Lance. Sipping some Teal Label 13th Colony Sour. Oh yeah. What's the Teal Label? Is that's not the rye, right? That's the bourbon. I think I put that in the I think I had that in the advent calendar.
You had I thought you had the double. No. Do you have double oak in there?
No.
No.
Oh my goodness. My grandma's in the house. What's up, Grandma? Man. I don't post this on Facebook very much, but I figured for the cause and the celebration, it was worth posting on Facebook today. So we've got we got to get into this makers. Are you guys ready to get into this makers?
Absolutely.
All right. Let me show you guys what we got. So this was a pick we did. I'll tell you guys the stave breakdown. It's one baked American puree stave, which the baked American puree is kind of like just like the same as the barrel. So when we do picks, we usually don't do many of those because it's like redundant, I feel like. Then you have the seared French cuvee. We did one of those staves. And I think if I remember correctly, the seared French cuvee like adds texture, like kind of like a buttery feel, but you can overdo it on those. We did 2 Makers 46 staves. The best, in my opinion, stave that you can do when I look for Makers picks, this is just my personal palate, but I always look to see if they're heaviest on the roasted French Mendiant staves. So there's 5 in there, and it gives it that kind of like chocolate note. I feel like the Makers 46 gives it a little fruity. So you have a little fruit with a little chocolate. And then we did 1 stave of the toasted French spice. And again, that adds a little bit longer finish, a little bit of spice, in my opinion. So you don't want to I don't feel like you want to overdo that on Makers either. So I think this is close to, if you stick with those like 4 or 5 French Mendiant staves and then kind of adjust everything else, you're usually in a pretty good place when you blend your Makers bottles. So I'll get a pour of this. I haven't had this in a while. But we named it Fruitgate, obviously, kind of a play on 4-gate because we knew we were hoping to get a 4-gate pick. Oh, here, I'll show you for you guys that haven't seen the stickers. These are our Barrels for Hope stickers. We try to put on a lot of the, let's see here. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Oh, I got to give that. That's not worth it. I need Ed. We need our producer, man.
I know. Get her in here. Camera one, camera two.
She's getting her hair done. I don't know if she's back yet. I thought I might have heard the door, but
there it is.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I forgot how good the nose is on this.
Oh, this thing's stupid.
So this came in at 109.1 proof. So Jeff, man, feel free. Tell us what you're smelling.
So with it being Makers, I mean, obviously it can be a little bit sweeter, but I think the fruit gate is very aptly named, and I got a lot more fruit forward on this than I have any other Makers pick I've ever had. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of that sweetness, but very, very fruit and spice heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, Ed, what do you get? I don't want to persuade you.
It's tonight. I get like fruit cocktail, but not like overly sweet. I get like fruit cocktail with a little bit of like nutmegish clove. It's almost like a fruit cake kind of meets oak in a way.
Yeah. The nutmeg clove call out is a good call out. Philip Travis said smells like juicy fruit. That's kind of a good call out too.
Mm-hmm.
You can almost pick that up when you're smelling it. There's definitely for me some chocolatey notes in there from those French Mendiant staves, I think.
Almost like a little bit of like a chocolate mousse underneath with like a fruit top chocolate mousse.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate mousse. Yeah, that's perfect. It is like a chocolate mousse, especially with the texture of the bourbon. Yeah, that's a great call out.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, you guys that are in Barrels for Hope drinking along with us, if you got any notes, feel free to post them in the chat, man.
And every time I go back and grab a pour of this, I'm blown away compared to every other Maker's pick I've ever had.
Oh, I know, right?
I wish I'd gotten a second bottle of. I'm very upset that I didn't go in the raffle.
Well, the good news is I don't know if you watched the Barrels for Hope live stream tonight, but we have I don't know what happened, but we have a ton of extra Makers picks. Are you going to the year-end event, Jeff?
Yes, I'll be there. I'm very much looking forward to it.
All right. I bet you'll be able to get an extra Makers. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm picking one up when I come over on the 15th, Lance. So I need another. This of mine, and I know I'm going to blow people away. Granted, I don't have the Nashville Barrel or the Middle West pick, but this is my favorite pick by far. Hands down.
Is it really?
Yes. Love it.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely love it.
It is fantastic when you taste it on its own. It's a rock star. If you have it next to the Foregate or the NBC or the Elijah Craig barrel proofs, I think that's where you notice it's not as hefty. It's a little, you can tell the proof's a little lighter. It's a little more, I don't know if watered down is the right word for it, but if you just have it on its own, it's a rock star of a pick. And I agree with Jeff. Like as far as Makers picks go, this is top 2 Makers picks I've ever had.
Same.
Yeah, I think for me, it's probably. Sorry, go ahead, Ed.
Oh, go ahead, Jeff. No,
I was gonna say probably for me, I think it's pick number 3 out of the 7 bottles that I've got from year 1. Behind Nashville Beer Company is the number 1 for me. I think Middle West is number 2. That's just so different than any other rye I've had with that pumpernickel, just that rich, darker kind of flavors mixed in. And then I think what this pushes over the Elijah Craig picks. I mean, I love the short barrel, I love the Founders pick, but for me, those still meet kind of what I like out of some of the best Elijah Craig barrel proof batches that I've had. Just kind of elevates that, whereas this blows the water out of any other Makers that I've ever experienced, whether it's the cast strength regular Makers, the cast strength 46, or some of these barrel picks at some of the liquor stores in Texas or Oklahoma that I've been able to try. But this is it's so unique that it's really kind of stuck with me.
It's FAEL 102 category for me, and they're my favorite Makers pours ever.
Yeah, that'd actually be fun to taste those next to each other.
It's right up there with those two.
Yeah. but we've got a lot of whiskey to taste tonight. Jeff, Jeff, if you've got the other picks, you're welcome to stay on. Danny's in the green room, so we're gonna bring Danny on in a second when we move on to the next.
Which one's
pick.
up next? I'll go grab that one.
So let's see. Let's do next. Let's do Still Austin. I think that's 116. Yeah, Still Austin would be next.
Okay.
You have Still Austin?
Yes. Yeah, I've got that one.
Okay. Let me bring Danny in here. And
I haven't poured this one since I cracked the bottle when I came over and helped you package it.
Yeah, I haven't tried this one for a little bit. So Danny, welcome, man. How's it going, buddy?
What's going on, man? No, it's going good. No, thanks for having me on. Hey guys.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on and trying some whiskey with us, and more than that, thanks for being a Barrels for Hope member and riding this out with us. It's been a fun ride, man.
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, I think from the very beginning, I was stunned to even get in. And one of my good buddies, he didn't get in, and I felt kind of bad. But the fact that obviously he can still get in at the $5 level too. And still be a part of this whole thing and still have an opportunity to get bottles. It's kind of all good. So
yeah, that's the great thing when we came up with that $5 tier, and we've had a lot of $5 members. When we have extra bottles that have gone into the randomizer and got bottles. So sometimes even some of our picks, we've had people get 2 bottles. So
yep.
I would tell them join that $5 tier, and then
Sure.
the thing is, this organization, like with normal Patreon and Whiskey Tube, you have a lot of people drop out and then join. But with ours, I think we only lost like 10 members the entire first year. And then we had, we've got 25 or so $5 tier members waiting. So as soon as someone drops off, it's just instantly filled. So, but that's just a testament to everyone in the organization that helped make this thing go. Because before we even launched, we had 140 reservations. We had more than that. I don't know how many we had to turn away, but it was more. I wish we could do more, but it's just it's a lot. Doing 6 barrel picks a year, you wouldn't think is a lot, but it's a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. No, it's been great, and the entire group's awesome. And obviously, I recognize a lot of names from some other groups I'm in as well, and great people.
Yeah. The Bourbon Jerk says, "There's the man." Is he talking about you, Danny?
Probably. That's my buddy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Tom is the real deal, and I don't know if anyone has seen his channel, but it's awesome and great content. But he and I are pretty close.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, go subscribe to the Bourbon Jerk.
Give him a follow.
Yeah. We love helping other channels here. So, all right. Well, if you guys, do you have your Still Austin, Danny? Right there. All right,
yes, sir, man.
Let me switch cameras here.
And I'm a huge Still Austin fan, so this is fun.
Nice. So I love the labels on Still Austin. They are so awesome. Local Austin, Texas artist does this. And of course we got our sticker on the back there. But this came in at 116 proof. Ed, you helped pick this, right?
I helped pick this one. Yep. This was a fun pick. Yeah. Granted, we didn't get to go to Texas, but
that's true. I wish we could have gone to Texas. And honestly, they sent us 5 samples.
Yeah,
this wasn't a hard decision.
No, it was not. And after the first 2, I was leery. I'm like, okay, this could be, but I believe this was number 3, and it was pretty much a no-brainer.
Yeah. So for those watching that don't know, Still Austin, relatively young distillery, and Nancy Fraley, who has helped with a lot of brands, helps a lot with Still Austin, does a lot with Still Austin. She's just amazing, has amazing palate. And what Still Austin's doing, a lot of times you'll hear people talk about Texas whiskey and they might have a negative reaction to it, because some of it is a little funky. It ages super fast because of the heat. Still Austin is not that, man. It is wild how different it is than regular Texas whiskey. And this was one we wanted to highlight for our Barrels for Hope members, for people who maybe think that Texas whiskey is something they don't like or have a lot of preconceived notions about it. And I think this was like 2 to 3 years old, which is amazing for the age. It doesn't have any of that craftiness. It is a little grain forward, but does not have any of that Texas funk.
Yeah, it's not like if anybody here's drank any Balcones, that stuff is just on another level of funk.
Yeah. I mean, I just went out to San Diego and my first stop was to Total Wine to buy the cast strength rye from Still Austin and the red corn, and brought them back. And I mean, just killer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Terry said, how did 10 people drop out? It blows my mind. Actually, Terry, that's less than one a month is not bad, man. and it, it could be for a number of reasons. Like, I know we had somebody lose their job and some other things. So there's a number of reasons, but really 10, I mean, we thought way more than that would have. So I thought that was pretty good, honestly. So what are you guys getting on the Still Austin?
For me, I get a lot of strawberry on this one.
Yeah.
There's a lighter kind of berry note. Not as much as the oak. I know it's a little bit younger. I think based off the date on the label, it's just under 3 years.
Okay.
But kind of even to what Ed was saying of my comparison before I'd had this Still Austin, it's been a lot of Balcones, a few other Texas craft distilleries, and it's been that funky kind of young tasting. And this one is something where it's kind of like, this is a Texas whiskey that I would share with a friend and be like, okay, this is what you guys need to try. Don't worry about this other stuff. Go to Still Austin, try their stuff, and you'll be impressed.
Yeah. For me, it's a lot of like Cracker Jacks, a little bit of butterscotch, a little bit of that berry note, but it's definitely like caramel covered corn. It is really, really nice. The tricky thing about Texas whiskey is since it ages so fast, it's really easy for Texas whiskey to dry my palate out. And this is almost like it does dry my palate out for such young whiskey, but not too much. But anymore, I'd be like, like we had some in the samples that were too drying and I just threw them out. We had one sample that was one of the best noses I've ever smelled in my life. It was Werther's butterscotch. And then we all tasted it and hated it. It was the wildest thing.
And no joke, it literally tasted like Scotch tape. If you put Scotch tape in your mouth, that is exactly what it. And we're like, no, maybe my Glen's jacked up or something. but like Lance said, the nose, absolute heaven.
Yeah, you're not going for Scotch tape when you're picking a barrel, right?
No. But I've never been on a barrel pick where the nose was so different than the palate. I've had somewhere that were a little different, but when we smelled, I remember it was sample 4. When we smelled it, I was like, oh, this is going to be the winner. And then I tasted it and I was like, nope.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
So for me, for this one, it's changed maybe just a little bit from when I first opened it. And I get that berry note just a little bit more than was there initially. But to me, this is Christmas fireplace. This is juniper. This is spice. It's sitting in front of a fire with that brimstone. Like, I don't know, like it explodes to me. And to me, this is always going to be my holiday pour.
Danny, did you post that in Discord?
I did. Yeah. You asked me.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I gotta taste this.
You had a good memory.
Put my mind in there. Yeah. Of all the Discord messages I get, I'm amazed I remembered that. But
when I first smelled this tonight, I was like, why am I getting like a spearminty York peppermint patty, little bit of flavor on there. And then when I drink it,
man, I did not pick those notes up the first time, Danny, but I'm totally getting it.
It's straight up a Christmas pour for me. And you know what? Like, I can't wait to pull it out around the holidays.
Now, I'm interested to know, did you get the Middle West pick?
Oh yeah.
Do you feel that that's a Christmas pour or no?
No. I mean, it's a. I don't know. How about we talk about it when we get there? I think it's
We'll get there.
fantastic. I think it's
We'll get there.
fantastic. Like it was everything I was hoping it would be and more.
Awesome. Good deal, man.
I'm anxious for that. I've never had any Middle West at all. So
I have
So
only had
I
a
would-
sample. Yeah.
Yeah. Bourbon Jerk said, still Austin, definitely flip the script on Texas bourbon. 2-year-old bourbon that is good is a game changer for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Just 2-year-old bourbon that doesn't taste like a 2x4. I'm in,
Mhm.
you know. It's really good.
And you're right about the craftiness, and I never really thought about that. Like, there's zero craftiness whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the first. Yeah, it was the first sample we did on this when they sent it to us. The first one was like, "Ooh, that's candy corn and sawdust." I don't think that's gonna. It was really crafty, young, but yeah, this was a unanimous pick when we did.
It was
It's a great pick. Y'all did a good job.
pretty easy. And it's funny because Jackie Zycan, that was formerly with Old Forester, I've given her a hard time because she was quoted in an article when she went to Hidden Barn, and a lot of Whiskey Tube reviewers were reviewing Hidden Barn and saying it was horrible and it was crafty, tasted like hay or a 2x4. And she had this quote that said that we've just become accustomed to stripped down neutralized spirits and we don't know what good bourbon is anymore. I was like, no, your stuff just tastes like shit. I'm sorry, it does.
It's a fancy way of saying that. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, stripped down, neutralized spirits. So still Austin, apparently, they've stripped down their neutralized spirits. This is what a 2-year bourbon should be like in my eyes. There's ways to do it. Hard Truth is another one that we did a pick of that we'll get to that, doesn't have that craftiness like some of those craft distilleries.
Yeah.
Before we move on, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off again, Ed.
No, you're fine.
I was
Tonight,
gonna say,
this is reminding me.
Again, go ahead, Ed. I'll go after you.
It's reminding me tonight a lot of Chattanooga. I don't know if you guys had Chattanooga, the 111.
I could see that, Ed.
It's similar.
It's got a little bit of that chocolatiness to it.
Yep.
I have the 111 and I haven't gone back to it in a bit, but I will now. Now I'm curious.
What were you going to say, Jeff?
I was going to say, I was visiting a friend actually in Austin 2 weekends ago, and we ended up going by Still Austin. That was my first time to swing by their place. And they've got a great setup. We did a flight, a couple of their cask strength bourbon, the cask strength rye. They started to do a seasonal bottle and bond. I think it was still the blue corn while we were there. And then we got to try the monthly Nancy pick. And oh, wow. I posted about it in the Discord, and it's a 5.5.
That was you. Yeah, I wanted that as soon as I saw it. I'm like, that's the one I want.
If you gave that to me in a blind, I never would have guessed it was Texas whiskey. It's just as rich and just that classic kind of bourbon experience that you get out of an Elijah Craig barrel proof or some of the Kentucky and Tennessee bourbons that I never have ever experienced out of a Texas bourbon. Was blown away by it.
Mm-hmm. That's the other thing about Still Austin that I love is just the mouthfeel and the creaminess to it. It's really nice.
Yeah,
I had the blue corn too. It's fantastic, like amazing.
I was having to decide between a blue corn pick or a bottle of the blue corn or a bottle of the Nancy pick, and had to pick up the Nancy pick. I mean, that was a no-brainer. But the blue corn is something if I ever saw that at a bar or saw it myself at a Total Wine, I'd pick it up without a hesitation.
Brian, I don't know. Maybe Jeff or Danny know what the girl represents. I'm not really sure.
I do not.
Was a musician?
Yeah. Is that just like a call to Austin, Texas music scene, or
could be?
Not sure. I mean, she's playing her hair on this one.
Oh yeah, she's not playing a guitar. That's her hair.
Yeah. She plays the guitar on the non-barrel proof.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know, Brian. I'll have to see if I can find that out.
Maybe our resident expert Benjamin would know that.
Yeah, he shouldn't he?
He should. Yeah.
Philip said he got a backup of Still Austin. So glad he did. Nice. But still, Austin was, most people, it seemed like almost everybody loved it. There were a couple people that weren't crazy about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I think it's fantastic. But
This is our floor out of the 6 picks, and where we're going from here. Like, you're setting up a hell of a legacy, because if this is what's quote unquote bad,
Yeah.
this is the best decision I've ever made of joining this club.
Well, when Josh and I had our first meeting or our first phone call, we were like, we obviously the number one goal is charity, but we wanted to put together 2 other people on the panel who had really good palates where we could find super good barrels, and some people that had some connections as well. And we wanted to basically do a couple, legacy picks a year, but then a couple where we're introducing maybe some members to some stuff they don't know about. Like Dark Arts was one I asked the board about 3 or 4 months ago. And just now it's like, the Bourbon Junkies has done something on it in the last week. And so now that's really going to take off. But, the connection and the friendship I have with Narav allows me to kind of hear stuff before other people might. And then Joe was all over Middle West spirits. And in fact, when he brought Middle West spirits to our first pick, they were talking it up. I was like, this is going to suck. I know it is. And I have no problem telling people if I think something sucks. And I tasted, I was like, this doesn't suck at all. This is really good. We got to do a pick. So we just have guys that have really good palates and their hands everywhere in every state trying to figure out what the best stuff is. So for us to be able to bring you guys, Hard Truth was one that I was like, I met Brian years ago. I brought Ed and Ben on a tour. We tasted the chocolate and caramel malted rye right out of the barrel before it was ever a thing. So we've known that was coming out for what, 2-3 years? 3 years,
2
maybe?
years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, he did. He drilled the barrels for us, and he says, "Hey, I want you guys to, try these out, see what you think. I'm experimenting with some stuff." And we're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. Wow. And I was like, "Brian, you need to blend the chocolate and the caramel." And he's like, "I'm one step ahead of you, dude. Shut up."
Yeah.
But yeah, so bringing Hard Truth to people that hadn't tasted it was awesome. Still Austin, Middle West spirits. People are going crazy over the Middle West spirits pick, which makes me so happy because
it's a banger.
That's
a banger.
Yeah. And I think they have a non-disclosure agreement, but it doesn't have anything to do with me, so I can say this. They do stuff for Horse Soldier, which I've only tasted like 4 years ago, and they do a lot of their contract distilling. And I didn't like Horse Soldier at all. So, but I haven't tasted it in 4 years. 4 years ago, it tasted very crafty to me. So I'm shocked that I like the pumpernickel rye as much as I do.
I had their barrel straight. That was really good. I forgot which one it was. A buddy of mine got a pick, and it was actually we always do blind picks, and I tried them like this is really good. Like, what is this? And he told me, I'm like, okay, I had no idea. I've never even bought their stuff. So you never know.
Yeah. Maybe I just had, again, it was a long time ago when I had Horse Soldier. So like the first year they came out. So
yeah, it's about a year ago. I tried that. Maybe a year ago.
All right. You guys ready to move on?
Sure. Yes, I can stand for one more. Which one is it going to be?
Let's go Hard Truth.
Oh,
perfect.
Oh, you're going Hard Truth? I actually, you're not gonna like this. I traded my Hard Truth for an extra Still Austin. Do
you want to do Middle West? We could do Middle West.
I can do Middle West.
Yeah, let's do Middle West then.
Because I thought the Hard Truth was great, no doubt. But I love the Still Austin.
I think Jeff already ran to get his Hard Truth.
Hard Truth.
All right. So
good.
While we wait. Hey, Jeff, we switched. Oh, he didn't have his headphones on. He didn't hear us. Hey, Jeff, we switched it up.
Mm-hmm.
We went Middle West.
Okay, let me go.
Okay.
Look,
It's my
Okay.
fault. It's my fault. I traded.
All right. So this is our Middle West bottle. I put a sticker on it, but we didn't send them out with stickers because they had they put the Barrels for Hope logo on the side for us.
Do you have do you have
Um,
more stickers, Lance?
Oh yeah, I can give you a bunch when you get here.
Cool.
This is barrel 3982. It was barreled on May 30th of 2019. So not very old, but it comes in at 124.40.
Ooh.
This is a wild ride. Ed, I can't wait for you to get this one.
I'm excited.
We'll taste Ed. We'll go hard truth next.
oh man,
Do you guys hunt? Have you guys ever been hunting?
I've slowed down, but used to be getting pretty big into the hunt the past couple of years.
So-
Oh yeah.
So I mean, obviously I get caramel, I get a good cherry note, almost like the ribbon candy that my great grandmother used to have in a bowl. I get that ribbon candy note on here. But the note that always Narav sent me like a box that was like 4 or 5 samples of Middle West, and then of course we did the pick. And one of the notes I got on a lot of them was when you go hunting, you have these you can buy these little wafers that hang off your hat. They're like scent wafers, and one of them's called Forest Floor, and it has like this slight pine kind of forest floor note to it, but also peppermint oil. Like peppermint oil is what I get. It's just all those notes. It's such a complex nose and palate. It just blows me away. But this is my to Danny's point about Still Austin being Christmas pour. This is my Christmas pour. I mean, it just screams all those things to me.
I'm gonna have a little sip of the caramel malted hard truth. Oh, good grief!
Yeah, that's a hard one to beat, man.
Yeah, I will say with this one, with a lot of rides, I've been hesitant over the years. I don't like a ride that is very dilly, kind of on the nose, almost like a
Pickle juice.
Pickle juice. Yeah, ones like that they turn me off very, very quickly. But this one is it's so much rich, it's so much darker. I mean, you can get a little bit of that pumpernickel flavor on it once you know it's pumpernickel. But even then, it's almost like a rich, as you said, kind of Christmassy. When I think of when I started getting into craft beers over the years of Christmas ales that a lot of these breweries would put out, a lot more of that nutmeg, just those Christmas spices. There's so much of that coming off the nose on this one.
So in some older MGP ryes, and Ed's experienced this with me, we've had a couple that I've given to him. Some of those old 95.5 MGP ryes, if they're young, they're kind of they can be super dilly, and they can be sometimes to me very citrusy, kind of like Sprite. As they get older, as those MGP ryes get older, depending on where they're aged, what was the one we had, Ed, that was fantastic? The Michigan one.
Traverse City.
Traverse City has some older 95.5 ryes, and it is peppermint oil, Andes mint, forest floor. It is all that. This has hints of that to me.
I'm excited.
Not to the extent of some of the MGP ryes, but man, it's just like Christmas in a glass to me.
Yeah,
So
I
to
know.
me,
I know.
yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
I'm sorry. No, you go ahead, Ed.
I was going to say, I know what you're saying, Jeff. Lance sent us some pours, and I did there was a pinhook rye in there, and I took one drink and one sip. I'm like, nope, this thing is like pickle juice and juniper berries. It almost tasted like gin mixed with like wood shave. I was like, no, absolutely no. But then when you get those older 5 and 6 year MGP 95.5s, they can be freaking amazing.
Yeah, for sure. So Danny, what are you getting?
Yeah, so for me, on the nose, it almost smells like a really good Maker's.
Yeah,
That's a
I can see
rye.
that.
So if you were to,
Oh,
if they were to do
wow.
like a killer rye, like not, you know what I mean? Like it would pop and be fantastic. And then the finish is everything you're saying. Like it's all those things in a one. Like it's such a complex pour. Like I don't know. Like I tried it. It blew me away. I text my buddies. I'm like, y'all aren't gonna believe this. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
But I agree on the holiday part. Like I agree too. Like this could totally roll right in that fold.
What?
yeah, and
What
it's
is
just
the
I love the like ribbon candy kind of the sweetness to it.
That's awesome.
It's just like I don't know if it's like a fruit cocktail syrup or a ribbon candy. It's not like a specific fruit. It's just kind of a bunch of really sweet fruits. But man, like you said, Danny, it is complex and just blows my mind what they're doing.
To me, it almost
What is
tastes like what I would expect about I'm sorry, Ed.
Well, I was going to say, what is the mash bill on that Middle
I
West?
forget. I said it once and I was totally wrong.
It's a 4 grain.
Yeah, I can't. I'd have to. It's on their website. I can't remember though.
All right.
I thought it was barely a legal rye. I thought it was like 51% rye, but it's not. I think there's like 70% rye. Or something like that. I'm probably wrong again, but
so the mash bill, it doesn't have the percentages, but on their website it says dark pumpernickel rye, Ohio soft red winter wheat, non-GMO open pollinated yellow corn, and then 2-row barley, which would be the.
Oh, here you go. Earl's got it. I was close. 80% dark pumpernickel rye. Pollinated yellow corn, 5% soft. Yeah, so it is 4 grain.
Okay.
Crazy.
It's unique, man. It's unique.
It is.
Yeah.
It is so unique without tasting crafty and weird. It is just solid, man. It's so good. Ed, I think this one's gonna blow you away, man.
It's almost what I would expect out of the taste if somebody told me, like, if I hadn't ever been told what a burr rye was before of a bourbon and a rye blend. It definitely, to me, I get some of those bourbon notes, but a lot of that rye is what is the predominant flavor. But I feel like you've got that rye spice, some of that bourbon sweetness that blends together. Again, it just makes you think of winter and is just such an enjoyable, unique rye.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, when we were on the pick, we were very split between 2 barrels. The first barrel, and this was the last barrel. We were completely split down the middle, and the first barrel had a longer finish, was more like kicked you in the nuts a little bit and tossed you around the room. This barrel, to me, what stood out for all of us with this barrel was we honestly, I don't think picked up on the complexity of it at the distillery, but the mouthfeel, texture, and creaminess of it is what stood out amongst all the other barrels. We were like, man, the texture on this thing is like butter. It is so freaking good. And we were split down the middle, and I was like, man, I gotta blind them because I have a bias, and I don't want to lean that way. And so the guy, I forget his name at Middle West, mixed them up for me, and I picked barrel 4. And he was like, that was my pick too. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. It was his pick though.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I think it's a fantastic barrel. And I did not pick up all the complexity when we were at the distillery on it. I mainly picked it because it was just, to me, it was like I knew as a group that probably wasn't crazy about ryes. To me, this is a bourbon drinker's rye, and I thought it would be extremely pleasing across a lot of different palates. Whereas the hard truth pick, we went with crazy, unique wildness.
And success 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, Taylor just made it on to the stream. What's up, dude? Cheers, buddy. Terry said, yeah, to him, tastes more like a bourbon than any rye I've had. Yeah. I mean, the only way I would pick up that this was a rye or those kind of Christmassy notes it might lend me to think that it was one of those old MGP ryes, but it doesn't taste like an old MGP 95.5 rye. And by old, I'm talking like 9-10 years old, which is old for a rye.
Yeah.
Whatever they're doing, it's working at Middle West. I mean, it's killer.
Yeah.
It's killer.
Yeah, for sure, man. So let's do a little poll. So if we ended up sending a barrel pick to the Ascot Awards, which barrel pick would your vote be at this point?
Something that would win and would be totally unique would be the Nashville. Like it's a cherry rum Coke. It is.
Jesus.
It's dark.
Yeah.
It's now the darkest whiskey that I have. Like it's not even close.
I said this on the Barrels for Hope stream tonight. You cannot convince me that they aren't double barreling those. They are double barreled 1,000%.
Yeah, it's layered. There's a layer there. It's special.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
I'll agree with Dan on that. Am I biased because I was on that pick? Yes, but at the same time.
Oh yeah, Jeff, you were on the Nashville Barrel
Thank
Company
you.
pick.
Thank you for doing that because you did a great job. Like fantastic.
I will say even too with our runner-up that ended up being Sunday Brunch for Josh and Aaron's and Stefan Whiskey, which was our number 2 pick. I mean, both of those, you talk about a struggle to pick between 2 excellent bourbons. Both of them were just phenomenal.
Jeff, that wasn't your first pick, was it?
Oh yeah, that's the first pick I've ever been on.
Nice.
I mean, that's one of the things when we started Barrels for Hope. I told Josh, I was like, one of my number 1 goals is to have people that join this be rewarded and get them, have bucket list items. And a lot of people don't get to go on barrel picks. We need to get all our members on barrel picks. So,
I mean, talk about a great experience.
I'm so glad that was your first pick. That's awesome.
I was telling some of the people on the pick of if you took everything, all that year of dues, just all only counted towards that one pick, none of the other bottles, ignore everything else. That alone, that experience of getting to go pick those different barrels, ending up with something that awesome was worth the entire price of admission for everything I've had so far for Hope.
That's awesome, man. That makes me so happy. I wish I could have been at that pick. I wanted to be there so bad, but I started a new job, so couldn't.
Yeah, so I'm on the flip side. So we've had 6 kids, and they're 11 and all the way to 1, and I can't go anywhere. Like I'm locked. I'm on like lockdown, and it's great. Like I'm not going to complain about that, but I can't get out to do those types of things. There's ever going to be something that's remote. I would love to have an opportunity to do something that's remote.
Okay, cool. Well, we probably like the Still Austin pick was remote. So
I missed
maybe once or twice a year we'll have a remote one that would be great to get you in on.
Yeah, because I've never done that in my life. So that would be like a bucket list thing.
It's so much fun. You can't believe how the same mash bill and the same barrels aged in the same place can vary so much.
No doubt.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got to do the Power Bourbon, their Starlight picks. And I think we tasted through 19 different barrels. And at the end, we were pretty much spent, man. And
that was in person though. Like I've heard that's what Starlight does. Like they roll it out for people on.
That is what Starlight does.
They're awesome dudes. They are great dudes. The whole experience at Starlight is what makes it unbelievable. I mean, their restaurant, they have orchards that they take you through. I mean, we were picking peaches right off the trees.
Yeah.
But at the very end, that Christian, he goes, "Hey, I got one more. I want you guys to try." He says, "I've been holding out." So he like spider monkeys back through these barrels, comes back out, and he gives us the samples, and we all drink it. We all look at each other, and we're like, "How much? Give us that." Right. And it's Lance has had it. It's that double
really
oak
good.
rye. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What was it? A double what? What was it though?
It's a double oaked rye.
Okay.
But Starlight's Rise are ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're so good. So Danny, are you making it to the year-end event or no? You stuck at home?
I have no chance in the world of going to that event. I wish I could. Yeah.
Man, because we're gonna do a barrel pick with 100 people, and
I know.
what we're hoping is we have an app, and I think there's probably gonna be a couple of us that go through and try to get the brothers to just give us their best stuff, and then we bring back 4 barrels for everybody to vote on. But that's gonna be an amazing time. Taking 2 buses from Louisville to Starlight, and then having free reign of the place. We'll get on gators and go pick peaches and see their honey and taste whiskey. Go through that. I mean, they are all about having us there. They're super excited. So it's gonna be, it's just gonna be such a ridiculous time. I'm telling you guys, Kim did such an amazing job. If you guys see, like, I don't want to, I probably aren't supposed to give away a lot, but we have these bags for you guys when you get there. And one of the things we have are these like wooden name tags that are like barrel heads.
Yep.
And in your bag, there'll be like backing for a coaster. So you can make that a coaster down the road.
Kim was telling me about that on the Nashville Barrel Company pick, and man, she's just put so much effort into all of this and so much thought, and it's already on the front end of this is evident, and I'm sure going through the event and then afterwards everybody can look back and just be very impressed with all the hard work that her and the rest of the
shoot, she's in here. Oh shoot, she busted me. I'm sorry, Kim. I'm horrible at keeping secrets.
You did it now. You did it now, Lance.
I won't reveal any more secrets, but there's a lot.
Lance, question about that pick. Are you guys going to be focused only on bourbons for that, or is there going to be some rye maybe in the mix for those picks?
It's the best thing we can taste. I mean, we'll have them bring out as much as they can. There's we're going into it with no expectations, but no limitations. It's like,
when you
just bring us everything.
Yeah. When you go on a barrel pick with Starlight, they basically open the doors to every freaking rick house, rack house, whatever you want to call them. They'll let you taste everything they have. They don't care. It's as long as it doesn't have somebody's name and a check against it, you can taste anything there.
Wow.
So,
Mark said,
you guys
no problem.
Just getting me so excited for this event.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, I couldn't have imagined it. I mean, like we keep saying, if Josh and I were in charge of this, you guys would be going to a garage, sitting around a truck bed, tasting bottles.
That wouldn't be bad either. But
we'd be driving down to A1 and tasting all the shit on his shelves. Not that you know what I'm saying.
No, but it's a great point. No. It's a great point. I think what y'all did with opening it up for more people on the committee, the board, whatever you want to call it, and having the right people in those spots was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take credit for any of that. That was all Joe. I mean, Joe was like, we need more people on the board, and then when we opened it up, the people that were applying or wanting to volunteer to help us were like,
it was crazy.
We're like, what? These people should be running this thing, not like we should not be running this.
Like
these people are like running big organizations.
Like I thought about it, and I saw the resumes, and I'm like, no, they I'm way I'm not even close to what they got.
Yeah.
Hey Danny, if I would have known that you're such a big Still Austin fan, I would have forfeited my spot on that pick in a minute for you, buddy.
No, it's all good, man. I wasn't until,
because I've been on picks, so I would have loved for you to do that. Absolutely.
No, man. No. I was introduced to them probably 3 or 4 months before that even went down, and I had that cast strength, and I'm like, oh, that's incredible. That's incredible for 2.5 years. It's incredible. And then I got the pick, and I'm like, oh man, it's so different from their regular cast strength. And then now my Bourbon Jerk, my buddy, he sent me a sample of the blue corn, and that blew me away. That's probably the best thing I've had all year. And so when I went out to California, I got the red corn, I got the rye, and the rye is killer. I am like they're like my number one right now. Still awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Nice.
Well, I'm glad we got to get you a pick.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
Mark Amenecker said like Perry's secret stash. No, hopefully we will not be getting any of Perry's secret stash. Jesus, that's the worst.
Are you guys both? Are you guys both? You subscribe to the Tornado
YouTube channel, but I'm not on the Patreon.
Oh,
you're calling me out. I need to now. I need to.
Yeah,
Yes, I get it.
Same.
I get it.
and go
No.
go back and watch. Just type in Perry special stash.
Oh, I remember that video of.
Hands down.
I wish I could get a taste.
Funniest
Just
whiskey YouTube video out there. No questions asked. For one line only. It's this. Nope.
I'm just so morbidly curious. I remember that video. That was one of the earlier videos I found of you, Lance. And
is it really?
Part of me wants to try it, part of me doesn't.
Sorry.
But like, I'm morbidly curious.
No,
Jeff, I will bring it to the year-end event. I will bring it to the year-end event, and you guys can tell me I'm not wrong.
Good luck.
It is
fellas.
the worst whiskey ever bottled.
It's so bad. It is so bad. By the way, drink everything good you're going to drink for the night, because once you drink it, you're done. Your palate is so blown.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason no one continued making bourbon with quinoa.
Yes, it's so bad. It's so
Awful,
bad.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who's in to taste the hard truth?
I'm in. Let's do it.
I wish I was. I'm gonna have to hop off real quick. I got work in the morning, but did want to just do a quick thank you, Lance. Thanks for letting me hop on. Good to talk to you, and just thank you to you and the rest of the board members and the rest of the Barrel for Hope community. I mean, this has been an absolute blast for the first 12 months, and I know I've mentioned it before tonight, but I'm very, very excited to see where the rest of this community goes for the years to come. This year-end event, where year 2 these barrel picks go, and where we go from here.
All the thanks goes to you, man. Thank you for hopping on tonight. It was great getting to talk to you and drink whiskey. I love getting to meet you guys and putting faces to names, and it's great. So thanks for hopping on and sharing your opinions on the whiskeys.
Absolutely good to meet you,
man.
Dan and Ed, as well. And let's go for that Nashville barrel pick in your blind at the end. That's who I'm going to be rooting for.
All right. We'll see what happens.
Well, y'all
take care, Jeff.
Tonight.
Cheers, buddy.
See you, man. So Lance, I have the hard truth. It's not the Nashville pick, but I had the 001 or whatever the first batch.
Oh yeah, go ahead and pour it. We can pour that.
I'll go grab it. Yeah.
Ed, you have the hard truth one, right?
Right. Yeah.
You do the caramel, or is that our pick?
Yeah.
No, this is your pick.
Okay. All right. Let me pour.
Both.
Isn't that a beautiful bottle?
It's the best bottle in bourbon. No, it isn't even close.
Yeah. So I'll give you guys some stats on this beautiful beast of a bottle
to try those bourbons that they've just come out with.
So we didn't do a sticker on this either, because they put our Barrels for Hope logo on the side there. This is the highest proof hard truth sweet mash rye that I've ever seen, because I think the barrel entry proof on hard truth is like 113 or something. So it seems like they come out of the barrel generally at about 110 or 116, somewhere around there. This was aged on the top floor, and the proof came in at 126, which is just, I've never seen a hard truth.
It is
at that proof.
10 proof points higher than the caramel malt.
Yeah, and it's less than 3 years old, which is crazy. So for those that don't know the sweet mash process, think of if you're doing a sour mash, it's basically like a yeast starter where they hold back some of the mash and they start that into the next run. With a sweet mash, it's more expensive to do. They clean everything out and start completely from scratch. So you'll see like companies like Peerless is a company that does it a lot. That's really good. Wilderness Trail is kind of like, Wilderness Trail. Dr. Patrick Heist does a lot with yeast strains, and they do sweet mash rye. And Brian Smith with Hard Truth went down to Wilderness Trail and learned from Dr. Patrick Heist. He learned not everything, but a lot of what he knows and what he implements at Hard Truth from there. People see Hard Truth and they see Indiana and they think that it's MGP, and that's not true. Hard Truth is very grain to glass. They use local farmers, local grains, and do all their own distillation and barreling. So very farm to glass kind of company. And Brian Smith is a friend of the channel, and I love the guy and love everything he does. So
he's a great dude, but don't let him drive your ATV.
That's a good story. Oh, Taylor, hold on, buddy. Let me post the link and you can join.
Oof. God, that's good.
Yeah, it was a killer pick. Yeah.
This might take me a minute, but Taylor, I'm working on getting you in here, bud.
How do you like that? Do you have Mash Bill 1? Is that what you're drinking, Danny? Or
so I have batch 4, rack house number 1.
Okay. Nice.
117.5 proof.
So my fiance and I, we this is hilarious. We both entered.
Oh shoot, that's not right.
A giveaway.
I gotta delete that.
From Hard Truth, and what it was is to go on a distillery tour with them, and then do a behind the scenes tasting, and get to see some of the stuff. And so I entered, she entered, we both won, unbeknownst to either one of us, kind of, that we both had won. So we went on that tour, and I actually saw the first 12 bottles of the Sweet Mash Rye being set up and ready to bottle for the very first run of their Sweet Mash Rye on that tour and tasting that we went on. It was freaking awesome.
So did you buy it there, or did you what was
it wasn't for sale yet. They hadn't even bottled it yet. I saw the first 12 empty bottles.
Just getting made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Yep.
Wow. I mean, who would have thought, if you would have told me 3 years ago that they would have been that I would seek their rye, I would have said you're crazy, just based on what I was seeing in the market. And then I tried it and I'm like, oh wow, this is really good. You guys got to buy this.
Danny, have you had the caramel malted rye?
I haven't. No, I haven't had that or the chocolate. Yeah, it's not in Michigan. It's not in Michigan.
Send him some samples.
Yeah, email me at Lance at Barrels for Hope and just say, hey, shoot me some samples of Hard Truth, and I'll hook you up, because they send me free stuff. So I'll hook you up.
Okay, no, that'd be great.
But you have the
their caramel malted rye. Their caramel malted rye will blow your mind.
That's what I've heard.
All right, Ed, let's break this down, man.
Ooh.
So I will tell you when we tasted this, if you watch the vlog we did and you watch Brian Smith's reaction to this, because he hadn't had it in a little bit, he lost his mind. He lost his mind. Let's get Taylor in here. Taylor,
what's going on?
Hey,
what's up, buddy? You got Hard Truth poured?
I do. I have the pick right here. Yeah.
All right, man.
So
Ed, I'll let you start. What are you getting out of it?
In a very bizarre nose right now, it is a cinnamon roll to me. I'm getting cinnamon, vanilla, a little dough, like fresh baked pie crust.
I get the pie crust for sure.
Oh
man,
yeah,
it's
definitely
so good.
Echo that.
So
I get orange marmalade.
I get orange zest, for sure. I mean,
I'll tell you the wildest note. And Brian Smith was he freaked out when Joe called this out. Smell it and look for oregano.
I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember that.
And you get oregano in this. It is the wildest thing when you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I really wanna smell that.
You can't smell it?
No,
Brian Smith was hilarious because when we called it out, he was like, "What the fuck? That is oregano." He was like, we got some like sherry notes in it.
The fact that I have so much citrus like zest, I get more of a like a thyme note rather than oregano.
I could see that, but that for me, that orange marmalade is like strong.
Yeah, going in.
So
Cheers.
so here's what's really interesting, right? Is that obviously I have traded my pick that had about 3/4 of it for another still awesome pick, but I remember that pick and I thought it was great. I have this batch four number one, and this is very like all I get on the nose is ethanol. And I do like this. I do like this, but it's nothing like the pick that we had. So it's almost a good thing that I kind of stayed on to say that, because it's very, those two bottles are very different.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Danny, and I'll tell you why. So it's a good pickup by you, because what they do is they have Hard Truth has 3 different types of barrels that they blend together to make their sweet mash rye batches. And those barrels, so what they do in their single barrel process and their single barrel pick, which is really cool, is instead of blending those, they bring each type of barrel down. So one barrel is like, if you've heard Jack Daniels, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
The thing about those is those staves have grooves routed into them, and so it gets more surface area. So one of the types of barrels that houses some of the blend of a Hard Truth sweet mash rye has those grooves into it. And we tasted one of those and it almost won, but it didn't beat this out. And then I can't remember the other 2 types of barrels. I think they're different char levels. But that's what they use for their blends. It's actually 3 different types of barrels. So you saying that it's a lot different is accurate. It is a lot different. You will not find a Hard Truth bottle that tastes like this on the shelf.
No,
not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we picked it, because it was such an outlier. We were like, there was one barrel they brought down was like, had those lovely Hard Truth butterscotch Werther's notes that I love that you'll get in some of their stuff. In their new 4-grain product, it's butterscotch all the way. In the Harvest Rye John Mellencamp release is a lot of those butterscotch notes. They brought out a single barrel. I think it was the first one we tasted. It was beautiful, but it was similar to what you could get on the shelf. So we went a different route. We're like, we want something that you guys cannot get on the shelf as far as Hard Truth goes. We wanted an outlier for this pick, and that's what we got.
It seems like they missed the boat on calling it the Cougar. Just saying.
Yeah, what'd we call it? I think we called it like Grandma's Gravy or something because
Is this the pick that was that? I was about to ask because I couldn't remember if it was this one or the Maker's pick, but it couldn't have been the Maker's Mark pick because it was so berry forward for a Maker's pick. But I didn't want to.
Yeah, so that one was called Fruitgate.
Yep.
Instead of 4-gate, right? Yeah. So Paul Smith was on that pick and helped. He said, "So glad I got to go on the Hard Truth pick. I did get a backup bottle. To me, it's bourbon notes on the front half of the palate, and back half goes to rye." I mean, it's definitely. I mean, you know, if you got somebody that's new into bourbon or rye, I don't know how much they're gonna love this because it fights you a little bit. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people on the pick thought this was a great bourbon drinker's rye. I think it might be too hot for some people just coming in.
I took this to a meetup down pretty close to us, and it was pretty much full. And I'd like to say that this was all done in one day.
Oh,
so
so they liked it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I took a bunch of. I took 3 of our Barrel for Hope picks. Was the Still Austin, the Middle West, and then the Hard Truth, and we all got substantially hit the same. So it was pretty good to see that. Yeah.
How did they like the Middle West?
I think
Curiosity.
It was just unsuspecting is what I was thinking, because it was a rye, and of course I was there on the pick, and after tasting everything, I was like, oh, this is definitely a rye. I thought it was a rye person's rye, but everybody else was like, this is a bourbon person type of rye. And after seeing everybody's reaction to it and being able to take a couple drams and pours of it, it was kind of exciting to see that people had the same influence from when we had that pick. So
nice.
How they feel about Still Austin?
It was the least Texas tasting thing there, or like the least, like if you had Texas funk, the way I describe Texas funk currently is Garrison Brothers.
Yeah.
So anything that doesn't have that funk of some sort, coming out of Texas, it did really well. I mean, it got hit a little bit more, just because I think the thing was like, this is a Texas whiskey that's less than 3 years old, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So it kind of shocked the group there when it comes to age, and then also where it was, distilled in. So I also enjoy it a lot. So
no, I think that's really interesting, because I've never heard until this live stream. I've never heard Texas funk more than on the live stream. But I attribute that to like the Dickel mineral note. Like people like, and it bothers me too. The Dickel mineral note bothers me too. Out of Tennessee, so I get it.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. I know I keep buying. I'll probably continue to buy each Garrison release that I can get, just to see, because it's unique in its own instance because of that funk. But I think coming out, besides Balcones, I haven't found one that really sticks for me.
I like Balcones a lot. I like their single malt a lot. It's really good stuff.
I haven't tried the single malt. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's on when Lance and Brad Key came and they stayed at my house before they actually went on the Hard Truth pick. Lance brought that whatever.
It was a Balcones pick. It was a single malt pick.
God, you want to talk a wild ride?
Did you like it? I didn't remember you liking it very much.
The first sip, I didn't, but after you get into it and you like say, okay, I'm not drinking, not drinking bourbon. Just think you're drinking unique whiskey. That shit's crazy wild.
It's like raisins and honeyed apricots, and it's just a totally different animal. Yeah. Do you guys have the Elijah Craig barrel proof picks?
I do.
Yeah, I got both.
Taylor, do you have did you get your NBC pick too already?
I did, yeah. Cracked it open. Great one. Probably nice. I know I posted about it earlier, but it's probably my favorite pick this year.
Okay. So I'm gonna blind these tonight in the last 30 minutes here. Do you want to blind them, or you just want to taste along, or what do you want to do?
One's gonna stand out more than the other two. I'm just gonna say that now.
We'll see.
It's a different profile.
Yeah.
I'm whatever helps the group, I have I don't know. I feel like my bias is pretty set.
Yeah.
But
so I would say if you've got a way to blind them, like if you want to do that, let's do that. I'm gonna blind mine,
Which ones
Ed,
are
if
you
you've got Elijah Craig barrel proof, Danny, if you've got Elijah Craig barrel proof and you want to pour those, awesome.
Yeah.
You got them all?
Yeah, I got them all.
So if you want to blind them too, go for it. If not, that's okay. But I'll tell the people what we're gonna do here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here's what we've got, guys. So this is A. This is gonna be A for me. This is our short barrel. Now, this barrel we were on, we did our founders pick, our Elijah Craig founders pick. And while we were there, Sylvia, who's a wonderful Heaven Hill rep, told us she had a short barrel and asked us if we wanted to taste it. And so she had somebody go up to the top floor. They brought down the short barrel. And I'm telling you guys, we could literally lift it with one finger. And we tasted it and absolutely fell in love, wanted to know how we could buy it. And she said, well, Illinois is out of its allocations for Elijah Craig barrel proof picks. I'll have to call Ohio and see if they'll donate a pick to you guys since you're a charity organization. So she called Ohio, and Ohio donated one of their allocations to us. And we were able to get this barrel, 4 Barrels for Hope, which was pretty special. So this is 10 years old, and it comes in at 123.8 proof. So that's going to be A for me. I've got that in a glass marked A. I'm going to mix these up here in a minute. B for me is going to be the latest Nashville Barrel Company pick. This was the latest one for our members. Just a phenomenal pick. 7 years old. 63.6 proof. So that is going to be glass B. Make sure. Shoot. Hold on. I accidentally put this in. I got to rinse this out. So I accidentally put A in a glass that's marked, and I didn't mean to. So. Give me just a second here. So yeah, that short barrel yielded like 90 bottles. And that was it.
I'm going to taste the Barrels for Hope Elijah Craig Founders against my favorite all-time Elijah Craig, which is B520.
B520.
See how we stack up. Okay. Being I don't have the Nashville barrel or the short barrel.
Okay.
I really want
to have the short barrel
against like an LE almost.
All right. So C is going to be our founder's pick. To me, this was one of my favorites. I freaking love this. I loved it so much that I actually finished the first bottle, and I'm on my backup bottle. So,
ooh,
let me open this. And I will tell you guys, so a little story about our founder's pick. This was a unanimous decision. And when we got there, Sylvia said that the people before us, I can't say who they are, but they fought over this barrel. And these two people own a distillery. And we picked the same barrel that they were fighting over. So, so this founder's pick is one of my favorite. 9-year-old, 121.4 proof. And then last, for my glass D, is going to be the 4-Gate, which I didn't get a bottle of. But this was sent to me from Ben. So thank you, Ben.
So like just talking here, should I throw in like a random elite pour to throw myself off, or just keep it as is with the 3 that I have?
You can throw in an elite. You can throw in an elite pour if you want. Sure.
Okay, that makes it more fun.
Why not?
I really want to put Four Roses LE from this last year up against these.
Well, that would be nice. It'd be nice. Hey, good for you. Good for you. Good for you that you have that.
Yeah, a little humble brag there, Taylor.
Not necessarily. I don't know. I just feel like some of the spiciness from the Elijah Craig that comes through could kind of pair well with the high rye mash bill from the Four Roses, and I don't know. Just kind of thinking about different bottles that these picks could definitely take down. Oh my god.
Four Roses always really stands out to me in a blind. Yeah.
Is it the floralness or?
Yeah, well, it depends. Yeah, a little bit of that. Let me catch up on these comments here. Bourbon Retriever said that NBC pick is fire. Stuff and whiskey in the house, blind or bust. Let's go. He said how that barrel yielded more than 40 to 50 bottles is a mystery for sure. For sure. Prescription Bourbon's in the house. What's up? What's up, buddy? Cheers, man. All right.
Yeah, that's interesting. I actually opened this bottle with the Bourbon Retriever the other day. I think it was last Friday. So
nice.
Yeah.
So it'd be a good neutral. Is this the Stag 23B? Let's see where it's at.
Mash and Drum. Hold on.
What?
We got Mash and Drums here.
Jason's here?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What's he?
Jason, what's up?
Hey, fellas.
Oh, damn.
Cheers, buddy.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man. First of all, thanks for emceeing Barrels for Hope.
Dude, my pleasure. I wanted to jump on and just wanted to congratulate you guys on what you're doing. I think it's amazing, and that's really why I wanted to, be a part of it and MC and kind of take everyone through the night's festivities, because it's going to be an amazing night, man.
Yeah, it really is. I was just saying earlier that if you can believe it, it's almost the 2-year anniversary since Renee was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And she went through a year of treatment, and then Barrels for Hope started almost a year ago today. So we made it through our first year, did 6 barrel picks, raised $40,000 for charity. And it's just been, I mean, I was joking with Ed, from sitting on my couch doing little iPhone videos 5 years ago, did I ever think that we'd be doing this? So it's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, yeah, it never starts off that way. It's always like, like this was going to be a small hobby, and look what it turned into. It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah. So we were actually on Barrels for Hope tonight, because we just did our last pick of the year was our NBC pick, and I was just saying the Houdini was not only one of the greatest NBC picks, but the greatest named pick, period. I love the name of that pick.
Yeah, we call it the Houdini because it's kind of was like I'm like, how is this like 6-year-old MGP bourbon taste so developed and some kind of Harry Potter trickery on that bottle?
That's awesome.
I haven't got to talk to you. Are you coming to the Starlight thing the day before, or just emceeing the event?
I'm trying to work that out, see if I can do that as well. So yeah, cool. I'm working on it. I've been talking to Kim. She's trying to kind of get me a rundown of the show, just to kind of give me a heads up on what's happening that night. And but yeah, I'm gonna try to make that for sure.
Cool.
Any good any time at Starlight's a good time. So
yeah, well, I mean, I feel like with a lot of people, I feel like I know you and have met you in person because we've been online so much.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to meet you in person. It'll be fun.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I've heard really good. I've heard really good things about the new NBC pick.
Oh my gosh,
it's killer. It's killer.
It's like a root beer float, man. It's
dude, you're talking my language.
Well, you'll get to try it at the event. Or you probably get to try it before. I can send you a sample.
Yeah, I can send you one too, man.
Are there any spots in Barrels for Hope open right now, or no?
No, it's there's 140 spots are full, and then we have 25 people in like the $5 tier that just wait, and then when a spot opens up, it's just like first, we can't control that, you know. So it's whoever grabs it first.
Yeah, I totally know. I totally know what you're saying.
And we're like, we like plead with people. We're like, do not let your credit card information, because we have no control over it. Like if you lose your spot, you lose your spot. So
yeah, that's what happens. I mean, people scratch and claw to get these spots in some of these Patreon tiers. So
yeah. So yeah, it's the first year went, I mean, better than we could have ever imagined. We had a couple hiccups. We got a 4-gate pick and it yielded 30 bottles.
Dude, we did that the first man, what year was that? We did a 10-year toasted private select with 4-gate. And yeah, it was like 42 bottles. And I'm like, you couldn't give us a heads up, guys? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, we specifically were like, hey, don't, we've got 140 members we need to fulfill. So send us samples that we can at least fulfill that. And then
so I got like really deep in the weeds. I'm like, so when you were toasting it, when the guy poured the barrel into the other barrel, he didn't tell you there was like maybe 3 ounces of liquid in there? Like what happened?
Because I told him, I was like, we just bought a short barrel of Elijah Craig barrel proof that yielded 90, and my daughter could lift it with her finger. Like, what does 30 bottles feel like? It's got to be nothing.
Yeah.
Did you have a 7-year-old tip that bottle? I mean, come on. Jesus.
Oh, so we were able to, I mean, we bought them all, of course, and then just everything went to charity. So we just did like a randomizer for those, and then the NBC pick replaced it. And so what I'm doing tonight, my top 4 barrels for Hope picks, the Nashville Barrel Company's in here, and the 4-gate picks in here, and I tasted them side by side, and man, for the money, that NBC is like, it competes with 4-gate for half the price. It's incredible stuff, man.
What's the what was the 4-gate finish you did? Was it a toasted? What was it?
It was. They sent us like I think 4 Roses distillate that was in sherry and something else.
Yeah.
Which is what we thought we were gonna pick, but we did it blind, of course. And we all went with the toasted, except Kim. Kim picked the 4 Roses. I don't think she was very happy we went with the toasted.
There's always someone that's not happy about the pick. I mean, I mean, the last NBC pick we did, I got outvoted. I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah.
But those picks were great though, dude. What was it? Rabbit and Presto, right?
No, the last one we did, which was
4-gate. I'm sorry. I was talking NBC.
Yeah. No, I was talking about NBC too. It was a 9-year Booker's barrel that we got, a beam barrel that we got from NBC.
What?
Oh, Ed's gonna lose his mind.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Big Booker's guy over there.
Yeah, when we picked it, it was only it was like 7.5 years old, and we were like, this thing needs a little bit more time, so we let that thing roll for another year, and it came out great.
Is there?
Kim said there are some full membership spots available,
right? You know what? There actually might be some left in Nashville at the store. I could email Mike. You looking for? You want one?
Dude, ask Lance if it has Bookers on it. Hell yes.
Yeah,
that's Ed's jam.
Yeah. All right. I'll
dude.
So there's legit
profile. Honestly,
there's legit full memberships available, because my buddies would go in right away.
Snatch them up.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have him go check quick, because if it's on this,
here it goes.
I'm gonna do it. He's doing it.
I'm doing it right now.
I'm gonna beat you.
If Jason has to wear that Yankees crap, he ain't in.
Yankee. I hate the Yankees.
Oh, you're a Mets fan. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. It's even worse.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to. My intrusive thoughts gave in there. Sorry about that.
It's even worse.
I knew you were a New Yorker. I forgot you're a Mets guy.
Yeah, I'm a Mets guy.
Bobby Valentine. Good for you.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, Philip Travis. That's okay. I'm a Cardinals fan, so I get lots of shit.
Yeah.
Just got the Master Journey bottle last week. Nice. Which one was last week, Jason?
No, I mean, he probably is talking about the NBC. That's the last pick we released. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is all your picks done through like shared pour, right? Out of DC?
Shared pour, seal box, and sometimes keg and bottle.
Okay.
Those three distributors. But we like working with shared pours because they're pretty easy to work with, and
100%.
They let us like if we just go out and get a bottle, like a pick on our own, they'll be like, oh yeah, sure, bring it in. We've kind of built up that trust with them, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So
that's out of DC, right? Not to be intrusive there, but
yeah.
Right,
okay.
DC.
How many picks are you guys doing a year now, Jason?
Last year was actually pretty. We were very selective last year, just because we were pretty conscious of the economy and everything, and we didn't want to go too crazy. But towards the end of last year, we really started getting some hitters that are going to start coming out this year. So we're already looking at probably 40 to 50 picks this year.
Oh,
I know. Talking to Narav, people have been buying so much less bourbon that he's dropped from 60, 70 picks a year to cut that in half. He's just not doing as much.
Yeah, we're trying to focus on stuff that we haven't done yet. Obviously, we're repeating some of the stuff that people love, like Corbin Cash and obviously the Four Gates and some of the other ones we've done. But we're going out to Ben Holiday in a couple weeks. We're getting 2 barrels there, which I cannot wait to get through that warehouse and see what they got.
We've got Barrels for Hope Ben Holiday pick coming up.
Yeah, we're getting a Rick House proof bourbon and a Rick House proof wheated bourbon. So we're getting 2.
Are you guys we're doing Dark Arts in a couple weeks. Are you doing Dark Arts?
Not yet. I mean, I just learned about it from I bought the Junkies pick to see, what I really like that pick a lot. So I got to look into them and see what they would have available for us. So
yeah, Macaulay, the first time I met Macaulay, he microdosed us by accident, but so,
my first experience with Macaulay, I'll never forget, because it was at Wilderness Trail. We're in the Rick House, and this was the first year we were doing picks. It was one of our first picks, a Wilderness Trail rye we did, and we walked in, and he's got a boombox, he's got a drill. And he's just like all holding it in one hand. Then he just like puts it down, and then he presses play on his boombox. Then he gets his drill like he's gonna like murder someone. He's like, "All right, let's do this." And I was like, "What is happening right now?" And we just
I remember that because we went like a few weeks after you.
Yeah.
And he had everything set up. He did the exact same thing for us, but we came in and sat down for our pick, and one of my buddies starts drinking a glass of water, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't drink that, did you?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You might be microdosed. It's fine though." We're like, wait a second.
Shit.
he just went on. But yeah, what a character, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. But that was
he has his master's degree and right? Yeah,
he's a pretty brilliant guy. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when we picked Tom Sawyer's Mean Rye, because Tom Sawyer was all of a sudden came on when we tasted that exact barrel, so that's what we named it.
Yeah, dude, nobody can compete with you guys in naming your barrels. See, we went easy, and we didn't want to deal with it, so we just made like one sticker.
Yeah.
And just so we didn't have to think about, barrel pick names. But yeah, you guys kill it with the names.
That's awesome, man. Oh, that's cool. I like that bottle cam. That's pretty snazzy.
Yeah, man. I'm high tech. I just don't have time to do enough. But yeah.
You have one of those. You have one of like those. The webcam. I'll email you later. I'm not going to ask you about this now. But
it's fine.
Lance has a producer.
Yeah. So what's funny about that Tom Sawyer pick is I had Dr. Pat Heist on the channel. He was in town in Columbus to do an event here in Ohio, and the Campari guy, he's like, "Hey, Pat Heist is here. You want to do a quick interview with him?" I'm like, "Okay." So he brings him over, and then I actually poured it for Dr. Pat, and he's like, He's like, "You got this pick from us?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I gotta have one of these bottles. This thing is amazing." I'm like, "Well, you made it, so I mean." So I actually gave him my one backup that I had. I gave it to him. So
nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He was pretty gracious, and he signed my one bottle I have of that bottle, which is pretty cool. So,
well, we were tasting through Hard Truth earlier because Brian Smith learned from the Wilderness Trail crew, and I know you guys did. I got to taste your Hard Truth pick. It was great, man.
Oh, that spiral cut one was for you. Yeah, it was crazy.
So, I was gonna say you went with the spiral cut, right?
Yeah, we just liked how it was pretty rich in flavor. The other two, I mean, we got to try 3 different barrels. They were all really different, but that spiral cut was the easy winner. It just had a lot going on, a lot of like cherry for a rye whiskey.
Yeah. Ours was I think our spiral cut was the barrel we liked the least, but the one we picked was like 126 proof. And it is just crazy. It's so unique. It's really unique.
Yeah, I mean the stuff they're making is so stupid good, and even their bourbons. I mean, I know you reviewed them, and I'm really into them, man. I think I'm with you though, Lance. We kind of talked about it a little bit. I think that 4 grain is going to end up being my favorite eventually. It's getting better and better every time I go back to it.
It's got that some like the Harvest Rye that they did with John Mellencamp.
Yeah,
and that 4 grain has that Werther's butterscotch note that when it shows up in Hard Truth stuff, man, I am in love with.
Yeah, that's my favorite note in bourbon, and when that shit pops up, I'm all over it. So
yeah, and it is in that for me. That 4 grain has it, and I love it, man. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
All right, guys, I'm gonna jump off. Just wanted to come on and say hi, and
thanks for saying hi, bud.
Congrats on everything, and I will
if
talk.
You
to you.
do have one of those bottles, Jason. I will drive the freaking C-bus for it because I'm only in Indy.
Dude, you know what? Shoot me an email or message me, and just to remind me tomorrow, and I'll reach out to Mike over at the shop and see if he's got any left. Okay, bud?
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
All right. Cheers, fellas.
All right. Cheers, Jason.
Hey,
Thanks
Jason.
for popping on,
Take
man.
care, buddy.
Anytime.
All right, guys. So I was tasting through some of these.
Oh, you already tasted them. I didn't do that yet.
Oh, you haven't started?
No.
I
I
started.
We were going once. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. There we go. All right. I don't think I missed any comments. It's always good to talk to Jason. He's always supports the little guys. I mean, I don't know. He's almost at 100,000 subs now.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's killing it, man. They're killing it. Their barrel club's killing it. So the first one I tasted was a vanilla bomb. Second one I tasted was kind of just cherry honey goodness. The third one I tasted, I'll just call it the third one, was really sweet oak and cherry forward. It was there. These are all fantastic, man. I don't know how I'm gonna pick a winner.
I can't tell what's based off of your description, which is which.
I'm really fighting the urge to pick which is which.
Yeah.
Wow. This is not what I was thinking it was going to be. Wow. Like, I thought the NBC would stand out and be, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be able to pick that right away. I can't pick it right now.
You can't? Oh, that's nice, man.
I can't pick it.
That's why I think blinds are great. If I think I can tell which one the NBC is. I'm really trying not to, though.
It's weird. The second two were so nutty. Like the first two, there was like zero. You normally call it bean nutty, but obviously it's not. It's not bean. But it's just super nutty in the second. I'm sorry, on the third and fourth pour that I had. I'm kind of confused right now.
Oh man, these are all good. Good grief.
Yeah, they're real good.
I mean, tasting just these 4 blind, We did a pretty good job our first year of Barrels for Hope, guys. I must say.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
you ain't
Killed
lying.
it. Killed it.
You
Mhm.
ain't lying.
Couldn't agree more. Ooh.
That
Oh, oh, God, that's so good. Whatever number 3 is, makes your toes curl, man.
That's the one then.
Mm.
Granted,
God,
I don't
Neo.
have the,
It's the chosen one.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't have the NBC or the short barrel, but I did put it against Narav's NBC pick,
Okay.
the Founders, and also my favorite Elijah Craig, which is B520.
It's a
And,
great Elijah Craig.
And she that Barrels for Hope is punching above its weight class. I'm telling you right now.
This is all I got left of B520. Where is that?
Dude,
Right here.
that thing is an epic pour. That is my
Great pour.
favorite.
That's hilarious. I have B520 and I just need to empty it. It's got like this much in it.
Don't do it. You got to keep it
Yeah.
until that special time.
That's actually my first actual, like, I guess, allocated bottle that I ever bought was A120.
Oh wow.
And ever, like, being able to buy alcohol in general. I know that dates me a little bit, but still sitting down there in the corner, fearful to open it.
You haven't
You
opened
haven't
it?
even cracked
A120?
it yet.
Yeah, I haven't
dude,
opened
good
it.
for you. What a stud. Dude, you're a stud.
It's my, like, people like, this is the first bottle I ever bought. I don't know.
It's like that first dollar when you
make
Yep.
a
sale at a
business,
store.
right? Yeah, it's always on display. It's like my first dollar I ever made is right over here. You know, I feel like I need to open it, but probably open it on my wedding day. Probably that'll be my first time opening it. I don't believe in like keeping bottles closed.
Yeah.
For any reason. It's just always looking for that reason.
So my favorite Elijah Craig barrel or bottle that I've had, and again, it kind of trumps everything that even C923 I did a blind, was A119, 135 proof, and I have this much left. Like it's a super banger.
Hot one.
I think the D, whatever I have as my last glass, I think that's going to be my last place. And not, it's a banger. It's, my God, is it good? But
yeah, for me, it's a 2-horse race for me. I got to figure out
whatever Nashville Barrel is doing, regardless of the pick.
Yep, 100%. I know
they're just doing shit right.
They're killing it. Yeah,
like really right. Man, that stuff is fire. Woo.
No.
Oh man, goodness. Sorry guys, I'm really trying to take my time with these and not talk. So,
that's better.
The finish on my second glass is forever.
So, I'll just tell you, Lance, on your Barrels for Hope, on the Founders pick, I'm getting notes and reminiscent of the creme brulee smoke wagon single barrel that we had when I came over for our first which, I mean, that's one of the top 5 pours I've ever had in my life.
What's crazy to me, excuse me, is 2 of these. You know, I've got 2 Elijah Craig barrel proofs in here, and again, I'm really trying not to pick which one's which.
Yeah.
But 2 of these are vanilla bombs, and the NBC barrel was like this root beer vanilla bomb to me with a little bit of cherry. And two of these taste the same to me, very close, which I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Man, those are all $200+ bottles, though.
They're hitters. They're freaking straight up. No, that's top shelf material right there, fellas.
Yeah.
I have my number 1 and my number 2.
Have you looked yet or no?
Nope.
Okay.
I had a decision, but I introduced another bottle into the mix, and now I'm rethinking things currently. Maybe go back.
Gosh darn it. I don't know. This is hard.
How much of that Forgate you have left, Lance?
No, I poured it all. I poured the last of the sample. I don't. I'm wondering if the Forgate and the NBC are the ones that taste the same to me, that are the vanilla bombs, because I know. I mean, you cannot convince me that NBC isn't double barreled, and I get those like vanilla s'more kind of double oaked notes. And the Forgate pick we did was also double barreled. So I'm wondering if those are the two that taste similar to me. But
All right.
my gosh.
So Lance, you want me to go through mine? I'm done. Like I know where I'm
Yeah,
at.
let's hear what's in last.
All right. So I have my key here because I didn't want to screw this up for you. Actually, let's go number 4. Let's go 4.
Yeah, number 4.
For me, 4 is pink. 4 is the short barrel.
Oh, no joke.
4 is the short barrel, Elijah Craig barrel.
Are you generally somebody who's not crazy with strong oak?
No, I love it. Like I love the short barrel. Like if you look at the difference of what I have left, it's almost nothing in the short barrel and more into the Founders. All right, so number 3. Wow. Okay. So this is surprising. Okay. So I did not expect this. Number 3 is the Nashville Barrel Company.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So
Dang.
I am.
Bag is up there.
I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked right now because I thought it was number 1. Okay, so number 2 is blue. That is the Founders. The Founders pick is number 2.
Okay.
So oh man, that's gonna suck.
Stag is number
Stag.
1.
Number 1 is Stag, and it wasn't close. Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry, I didn't.
No.
It was a bad control. It was a bad control.
Dude, the thing is, there is no bad pour in this group, and shoot, man, Stag is one of my favorite pours of all time. So even if it competes with Stag,
I know, but I actually didn't even think that was a great Stag batch, and here I am. I've loved those other pours so much more, but hey, we all make mistakes, right?
I don't think it's a mistake, man.
The fact that your Founders pick is like neck and neck with Stag.
It was that was hard. That was a very difficult decision.
Fabulous.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised more by the Nashville because I thought that would be head and shoulders above everybody else.
Let's see. And I'm having a tough time here, guys. Some good bourbon.
Yeah, we're all dealing with like great stuff.
Yeah. I think I have I don't know, if nobody else has I guess I don't know, their decisions. I have one.
Let's hear it, Taylor.
So my last place was the Founders pick.
Wow. Okay.
My second place was the short barrel.
Okay.
My second place was
wait, you just said second was short.
Yeah.
You mean third was short?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, third was short.
Okay.
Second place is Four Roses LE, and then my first place was the Nashville Barrel Company.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
That's amazing.
Okay.
To me,
Wow.
I don't know. It was just that sweetness. It was sweet but really complex. That really beat that Four Roses floral note.
Yeah.
So
I
is
really
that
love is effervescence.
the Four Roses, the 135?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I have the year prior.
I have that too. I haven't put it against anything, to be honest.
Just send it to me. It's don't.
You're
you
right.
won't like it. Just send it to me.
It's on the way. It's on the way.
Maybe we
way.
can talk about how you're acquiring these. Like, how do you get this stuff? Like, I don't get this stuff in Michigan.
Oh, I live in Virginia, so it's
Okay, where at? Because I'm from Virginia.
Well, Shirlington.
I'm from Woodbridge.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, you're from very close.
Okay.
So
But we don't get that stuff up here, man.
Yeah.
I have
so.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's last year's Four Roses I got in a drop. The random whenever kind of drop system that they did, and me and my fiance went, and I picked one, and then I picked a Booker's just instead of getting two of the Four Roses, and I kind of regret it at the moment, but everybody's like Bourbon Karma type of deal. So I left one, I left it, picked one, and then I got another one. But for this year's Four Roses, me and my fiance camped out for I think Virginia's going to the kind of a Maryland-esque Montgomery County thing. If you know what that is, it's a kind of like once ever so often.
Yeah.
So me and her camped out overnight, and we both picked up Four Roses from this year, and I've given out most of my first bottle has been samples, so giving it out. But I don't know, like the surprise from the Nashville Barrel Company, like pounding above its weight class theoretically, name wise, crushes it. Like I have no qualms giving up this Four Roses for this Nashville Barrel Company any day, to be honest with you.
That's crazy. Because that Four Roses LE is awesome.
Oh, I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the effervescence, like some people get off of, I guess, Michter's Tin Bourbon or something like that, like the effervescence notes, I totally blend with.
Huh. Ed, you got your lineup?
Yeah, so I didn't have granted, I didn't have the Nashville Barrel or the short barrel, but I stacked it against the Titan pick from A1, which epic barrel, and the B520. And honest to God, the Barrels for Hope won. It was number one.
Which one
though? The Founders.
The Founders.
The Founders was number one.
Yep.
What was two?
Nashville Barrel edged out 520.
Nashville Barrel Titan. Oh, you don't have ours, so you have Titans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
haven't looked yet, so I don't know what won for me. I just know
that Founders pick is epic.
Founders pick was legit. But I thought the short barrel was better, and here I am, like it's coming in fourth for me.
So I will say, when I'm tasting these four, I'm somebody who is usually adverse to double oaked. So if I get sometimes too much double oaked can go into a wet cardboard note, and really double oaked can go into a Sharpie note for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Nashville Barrel Company teeters on the wet cardboard note, but with a ton of like vanilla root beer, cherry. I really like it. I like all four of these. I wouldn't be mad at any of these, but I'm just kind of trying to explain my palate to you guys. and vanilla bombs usually aren't my thing. I like more honey, fruit, oak, all a blend of those things.
Knowing you, Lance, if it has the solid, heavy cherry cola, it's the winner.
Yeah, and so
that's
my
your
first
deal.
my first two have that kind of. They have the honey, they have the cherry, they have the sweet oak, like old aged oak to me, not artificial double oaked. Now I could be totally wrong, so we'll see. My last place was glass 2, which is D. I don't know if you guys can see that, but glass D. So I don't remember what I had as D. Oh, you know what? D was Fourgate.
Wow.
Fourgate is
Not surprised.
My last place, which tracks because I wrote for that glass vanilla bomb, vanilla cake icing, had a long finish, had a little bit of cherry in it, but also had some artificial oak notes, and that was double oaked. So that tracks. So Fourgate was my last place. Next to last was glass 1 for me, which was B. And B was Nashville Barrel Company, which again, that tracks for me. So my two favorites are definitely one of the Elijah Craig barrel proofs. Yeah. I just don't know which. I will tell you guys. So just my notes on glass C, which I placed in second place. I got sweet oak. Reminded me of Elijah Craig 18, but with higher proof. But very balanced and easy to drink. So my guess is that's the Founders. I think that's the Founders.
Okay.
Well, the Elijah Craig 18 though does track towards the short barrel. So I don't know. We'll see. So my next to last, my thing fell off, is A. A was the short barrel.
Oh, damn.
So for me, and I thought this would win, the Founders pick is my favorite. Is my favorite pick, amazing. Which is pretty awesome because I thought that's what it was. I freaking love the Founders pick, man. The Founders pick, I put oak, nutty, cherry. But the thing that separates the Founders pick for me, even though it's lower proof, the finish is forever on the Founders pick. My goodness, it's a long finish.
You know, I get so much nuttiness off of that finish.
There is nuttiness. I did put nuttiness down. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what's crazy, Taylor, is when I tasted these through the first time, I had the Founders pick last. And then I started with the Founders and went back through. And the more I narrowed it down, the Founders pick is it for me. And it's just because the others aren't bad. The Elijah Craigs just stand out for me because
that's finish.
I can taste artificial aging or hyper aging. I don't know what it is, but it stands out to me, and I just don't like it. It doesn't mean as much to me as the legitimate aging. And those Elijah Craig barrel proofs are outstanding, man. They're so good.
No, I have a sincere question here for the panel. For those that picked or been on a pick for Elijah Craig, right out of Heaven Hill, from what you tasted, whether it's on campus or at a liquor store, right? You know, we know that, I guess, from Barrels for Hope that there is sometimes a bigger delay than usual or sometimes expected from when the barrel is dumped, right?
Yep.
So the question is like Lance and everybody, is that when you did this pick, how far off is this from what you tasted?
It tastes identical to what we tasted.
Okay. So that couple months didn't really impact it versus.
No, but I will say, like, when you do picks like Nulu that double oak a lot of their stuff or finish their stuff, you have to take that into account. And Nulu is pretty quick about getting their picks out, but like when we were on a Nulu pick, I got those like faint Sharpie notes and some of the double oaked ryes.
That's
and
rough.
I knew once that aging is so fast, man, that once it got bottled into A1, it was going to be too much. And we sent a whole pallet back. We were like, no, these are all not good. So it just depends who you're picking with. Like with Wild Turkey, I don't even know how you estimate it. You just know it's going to be good. But Wild Turkey, you might not get your bottle for a year. Which is, it's not going to turn south though. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But when they're double oaking, I think that's when you have to be super careful and kind of project what it might turn into over time.
Got it.
So like with Nulu, with maybe Dark Arts, that's probably something I'll be looking for. If I see like that Sharpie or wet cardboard note for me, I'll be out on it. But I think Dark Arts turnaround is like 4 weeks. I think they're really fast. So
yeah, something like closer to my area, something like RY3, Rye 3. They, as soon as you pick a barrel, they kind of dump it. It's out of the barrel into a storage unit. It's kind of like a plastic container,
like a tote.
Yeah. Stop it from aging. So it's as soon as they can bottle it, they can do that aspect of things. But last week was my first Heaven Hill pick coming from a rep over where we are. And my number one question was like, coming from the Barrels for Hope perspective, we kind of saw that things kind of could get pushed back. They're a massive legacy distillery. So just kind of wondering how things got, could get changed from the timeline of when you taste it versus when you bottle it.
I don't think you have to worry so much with Heaven Hill, Wild Turkey, a lot of the legacy distilleries. I don't think you have to worry about it too much. But with some of the smaller ones doing double oaking and finishing, definitely you need to worry about that. I know like Hard Truth, once we picked it, they dumped it into a tote and it stopped aging. And that's perfect.
I think that's the right word. I think I use like a plastic container, but it's more of like a physical, food grade safe tote deal for RY3.
So I got to say, guys,
wow.
Danny picked our founder's pick as his number one Barrels for Hope pick. I picked it number one and Ed picked it number one. Taylor, you picked it last, but you might be somebody who likes those. You love those, maybe those double oak notes, double barreled notes, which is why you put NBC as your number one. But yeah, it's that founder's pick is fire, man. It holds up.
Special.
It's so good. It's so good. It's really good. It's one of my favorite Elijah Craig barrel proof picks. And just knowing what distillery was before us and picked it. I won't say it on the channel, but if you're at the year-end event, come ask me and I'll tell you the full story, and I'll tell you who was fighting over that barrel.
I know the story, and that is mind-blowing.
Oh no, the word that Lance used was distillery. The distillery passed on it.
Yeah. Well, so these people were picking for a grocery store, and the story we got was they were picking for they had narrowed it down to 2 barrels. The barrel we picked and the other barrel, which was more like of a universal easy kind of smooth sipper.
Everybody's bourbon.
Yeah, and everybody's bourbon kind of pick. And we picked the barrel they passed on, and we may or may not have gotten to taste the barrel they picked, and this barrel destroyed it. So yeah, man, that's a great night. Awesome picks. I'm glad I finally got the answer to my question. Oh, Danny's back. As soon as I change it up, he pops back. Let's see. Sorry, Danny. Let me get you back in here. There you go, bud. So yeah, Danny, what I was saying is you picked Founders as your number one pick, right? For I mean, not
For Barrels for Hope.
Yeah, excluding Stag. Founders was your favorite, and it was Ed's favorite, and it was my favorite. So 3 out of the 4 of us picked that as our favorite. So that's a special pick, man. I think you're muted, Danny.
Yep.
I agree.
No, you're right.
There you go.
That.
There you go.
It was just a restroom break. Yeah, this is a fantastic pick.
Yeah, and for it to be our Founders pick, just I mean, couldn't be more perfect to get a barrel like that.
Number one barrel, first pick for Barrels for Hope, and it's
Right.
top dog.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I thought that was gonna be my favorite, and then when I got into it, I wasn't sure. But man, those first 2 are just so vanilla forward for my palate that it's just a little too much hyper aging, artificial flavoring to me. But that's just me. But I think a lot of people will absolutely love that. I think I'm probably in the minority.
I just want to know how this NBC bottle is so dark.
Because they double barrel it. Positive. Yeah.
So dark.
Yeah. They double barrel this. They have to.
I'm just glad
this is 7 years old, right? So NBC pick is 7 years old. And
7 years
Elijah
old,
Craig,
but so dark.
The Elijah Craig is 10.
Is it really?
They look the same. They look the same.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just makes me smile when I look over at my shelf and I see the Founders pick, and I'm going, nope, stay right there. Just stay right there. I'm leaving you, and that may be the last bottle I ever finish.
Aren't those stickers? Didn't they fit perfect though?
Yeah. On the Elijah Craig barrel, it's on the bottle, it's amazing. Fits so good. Yep.
Good. It was a winner, man. I'm so happy with the first year. It couldn't have went better, even with all the hiccups. Man, it was just an amazing year, and I'm so pumped about year 2. It's just awesome. So
in year 2 or 3, whenever, 1 year, we got to do a bean pick.
I agree. Where's the Knob Creek pick at? Come on.
I've sent that into Narav as one of our legacy picks this year. We want to do a Knob Creek pick. Knob Creek bourbon, not rye. So we'll see.
Well, they're coming out with a bro rye. Do you see that?
Yeah. Yep.
I did see that. Yep. I did.
I mean, not that I would be interested in a pick, I guess. I don't know if they're gonna.
Matt Strobel asks if I'm drunk. Nope, not even close, man.
Nope.
That's a fact.
You ain't seen it. None of y'all seen that.
Ed knows. Ed, am I drunk? I'm not even close, am I?
No, shit. No, you could drive across the country right now.
Ed's seen me drunk, and I only get drunk when Ed comes to visit. But no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I took small sips. I'm good, man. I'll be fine for work tomorrow morning, so no big deal.
Man, damn.
Yeah, that is a great night, man. I just love revisiting all these picks and talking about them and telling the stories behind them and all the people we got to meet, and it's just so exciting, man. And we're gonna write $40,000 in checks to charities. It's just great stuff, man.
I really can't wait for the end of the year, I guess, sort of event. I say sort of end of the year because kind of started currently this month. So, go into
Taylor,
doing the pick.
If you see me cry, Taylor, just know I'm emotional. So I'll probably I'll probably be crying a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this was the first time kind of I'm really excited to meet Jason in person and you know, talking to you all, and I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to get all the people that can come into the group in one place, to be like, we're all there for the same purpose, to see what everybody's kind of reasoning is. And I don't know, it's just kind of a fun time. So really looking forward to it, honestly.
Yeah. It's gonna be unforgettable for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
mean,
forward to it.
and you know, first of all, you're a guy who I've never known you until you came on the stream tonight. So it's very interesting, right? Like your whole background dynamic, etc. But I will say that Barrels for Hope is more than just the charities for me. It's a spot for my own family. You know, we've had 6 children. We lost one. And the one that we lost, we started a charity this past year called Isla's Christmas Wish. And it's to support people who have gone through the same thing that we went through, who lose a child. And we support them with Christmas gifts for their other remaining children for that year, as well as a keepsake for the family. So this whole thing hits near and dear to my heart and my wife's heart and our entire family. And she, you know, she's gone, but she's definitely has a place in our family and our heart. And we wouldn't be where we are without her. So for me, Barrels for Hope is more than bourbon. It actually
That's
has
awesome.
it actually
yeah.
has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, Danny, I didn't know that. So were you watching the Barrels for Hope live stream tonight?
Yeah, I caught like probably the last 30 minutes. I
Okay.
was putting all the kids to bed. Yeah.
So we're gonna be posting in Patreon a Google spreadsheet for you guys, because we want you guys to have a say in who we donate money to in year 2.
Yeah.
So please fill that out and post your charity organization as one of the things. And
For sure.
so Josh is gonna head that up, and then Reggie is gonna be on that committee, and then we're gonna 3 members from Barrels for Hope can also be in that committee, and you guys are going to have a say in where the money is distributed to in year 2. So you guys will decide, that committee will decide based on the forms submitted in those Google Docs and what you guys discuss. So it'll be good to have some representation from the Barrels for Hope community, a couple board members, and then you guys will present to the board, and we'll decide who we're going to donate money to in year 4, and hopefully that'll go to the pillars of children, mental health awareness, veterans, and cancer. So
Yep. Yeah, and again, me saying that is not to say, hey, I want my stuff coming my way. It's not has absolutely nothing to do with that.
No.
But it's just another way of just really being appreciative of what you guys have done and have stood up, and what all of us more or less have gone through in life with dealing with people that have had and have gone through these health issues and cancer and etc. And yeah, I get it, man.
Hey, I mean, none of us are immune from bad shit happening, and this whole life is a roller coaster, and you may think things are going fine, but as soon as they are for a while, life is going to kick you in the nuts, and everybody needs some help. And so, man, I just think us being able to combine bourbon with helping people is the greatest thing. I'm so appreciative of all you guys and for jumping on board with this. And the more people we can help, the more organizations we can help, the better. Even if it's, even if we're only 40 to 50,000 doesn't sound like a lot, but if we get a couple chapters in 5 years and we're donating, close to $1 million, that's the ultimate goal.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's possible, but even if it stays right where it is, it's really fantastic. But we're going to do all we can to grow it and see where it goes.
Awesome, man. No, thank you, man. I appreciate everything that you've done and your family. And I mean, it's incredible to be where we are right now.
Yeah.
It's
pretty
any
awesome.
donation to just help, just whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's about the fact that you care enough to contribute and put your foot forward to help whatever contribution it is, and whatever charitable organization. To take a note from Lance, from watching him for 3.5 years, life's basically like Stag Jr. It's going to kick you in the nuts and throw you around a room a little bit.
Sometimes, some years more than others.
Some years a lot more than others. But whatever it is, the fact that you can just help and make people aware is big, is huge for me. And that's what I love about the whole meaning behind Barrels for Hope. And Danny, you bringing that up tonight, now you brought awareness to the fact that people grieve and they go through these life-changing events that they're not ready for. And then if we can help, we're there, man. We're ready. So yeah.
Awesome.
I have to agree with that. I think for me, I look very young, as I sort of kind of continue to be. But something that I've contributed, I think, over half of my age, and honestly decades to, is something where we support young children trying to get. It's called Shriners International Hospital for Children, where we do things. So trying to support, it's it's the easiest way to explain it is something like St. Jude's. So the parents of patients do not have to pay. Something like that. But it's really something that impacts families, and not just individuals, but families, so that they can live a life of as much as a normality as possible after treatment, and have those treatments as possible without the cost to the family. Is something that I'm the most proud of, and something that I love the fact that Barrels for Hope is open to. Not that necessarily that's one of our foundations or one of the things we're donating to, but just something that all of us can get behind and talk about. That's probably the biggest thing. There's something.
Taylor, I forget, how old are you?
How old am I? I'm 25.
Dude, you're such a better human than I was at 25.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, can't either.
I appreciate everybody on that thought. I've been a part of this. When Barrels for Hope first started, I joined as if somebody that wasn't in the initial invite didn't accept, I was on the second tier. That was, something I can get behind. So I definitely hopped on, started, someone missed out on their chance, regardless of a tax benefit, right?
Well, now we got you a tax benefit.
I'm not at the ability to itemize. So, but regardless, I thought this was pretty much, an amazing group.
Yeah,
so,
you get it. Like that's the whole thing, is that you understand.
Yeah,
like, you get how all this works, and for someone of your age to do that, special, man. So, and
Yeah, it really is. And I'm not saying that lightly, Taylor, because I really, at 25, man, I was thinking of just myself, my wife, and my kids. I wasn't thinking of other people. And when you, life becomes so much better when you start thinking about other people than yourself. It's why when you have kids, life is so much better, because you stop thinking about yourself, you start placing them first. And then when you start becoming of service to the community and to people who needs it, I always tell my kids, I say, worry about your spec. Like, you have all these people worrying about Trump and Biden. I'm like, worry about your community, worry about your family, worry about the things close to you that you can control. And the other stuff will take care of itself. But worry about your spec. And so this is my way of worrying about my spec, worrying about things I can control, helping in a micro, not a macro. And for you, Taylor, to be 25 and do that is, I'm not just saying it. I really believe it's pretty awesome, because I would not have been that at 25. I was thinking, how can I further my career? I was not thinking of other people when I was 25. So
I think it's a truly opportunity to, help impact people that aren't in this situation that I am. Growing up, especially with the Shriners Hospital for Children's, touring and being a part of the group where, families have different, I don't mean to call them obstacles, but, have different situations in which things might impact, day-to-day stability, and finding a way for, whether that's through this group or somewhere else, to support a cause where, their life might not be as impacted as mine, given where I'm at, is totally worth it. I enjoy the camaraderie. That's a secondary benefit, getting to hop on here and talk to everybody. But working with people that have been affected by multiple things, and no money is, to me, is worth that, to help somebody else have something that I wish I had, or I do have. So that's the biggest reason I'm here, as not to say at such a young age I'm in, but I'm willing to definitely be a part of something like this. 100%.
Well, I'm glad you joined us, buddy. I really am. It's awesome. I'm gonna have to get to bed. My wife's home now, and she's she's waving to me. But thank you guys so much. What a fun night, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. My heart's full. It was great meeting you guys tonight, and it was great talking about Barrels for Hope, tasting our picks for the year. What a great year. What's that?
I said, who are you?
Who am I? What do you mean?
I love
Ed,
you, brother.
I love you too, buddy. Ed, when are you coming over? Is it the 15th?
The 15th. Yep. We're going to do our Recliner Chronicles, brother.
Yeah, Recliner Chronicles on the 15th. Ed will get his other bottles. We've got some special pours to have. And we'll see if we can get my wife to be the producer again. Is Jennifer going to make it, or is she staying home?
No, she's got a bonding weekend with her sister that weekend.
Okay.
So, but she said, thank you for the invite. And we might even do, maybe we'll do some Irish in celebration of St. Patty's.
There we go. We can do that. I will fire up the smoker, and we'll have some good food, and
it'll be awesome.
Yeah,
tune in.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, tune in to the Recliner Chronicles. I love it.
This is the 15th, right?
Yeah, the 15th. 15th. Yep. All right. Hey, I love you guys. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for everybody that tuned in tonight. Thanks for all the Barrels for Hope members out there for making this dream a reality, and for helping all these people. It's
Danny,
awesome.
Taylor, nice meeting you guys tonight.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Yeah. Bye.